Hold up, Bulls Nation, this could be the biggest shake-up in Chicago in years. The Chicago Bulls are reportedly exploring trades for three of their core players, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, and Nikola Vučević. That's right, the faces of this team could be on the move, and the future of the Bulls might look drastically different. So, why are the Bulls even considering these trades, and what could this mean for the team's chances of becoming a real contender? Stay tuned, because we're diving deep into these rumors, and trust me, you do not want to miss this. And hey, if you're a true Bulls fan, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about what these trades could mean for the future of Chicago basketball. What's up, Bulls Nation? Welcome back to the channel. You are in for a wild ride today because we've got some big news to talk about, something that could completely change the course of the Chicago Bulls' future. The NBA world is buzzing right now, and it's not just about the usual season highlights or a championship chase this time, it's about potential trades. Yes, you heard me right. The Chicago Bulls are reportedly exploring trades for some of their key players, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, and Nikola Vučević. Can you believe it? These are players who've been the core of the team over the last few seasons, and now it looks like the front office is considering moving them. Now, I know that might sound shocking, but there are some real reasons behind this decision, and we're going to break it all down. I know Bulls fans have a lot of mixed feelings right now because, let's face it, each of these players, Zach, Lonzo, and Vučević, have had their moments of brilliance. LaVine is the star, the high flyer, the guy who can drop 40 any night. Lonzo has that unique playmaking ability and defensive prowess that fits so well with the team's needs. Vučević, while not perfect, is one of the best big men in the league with his ability to space the floor and rebound. But the reality is, as much as each of them brings something to the table, the Bulls just haven't been able to consistently put it all together. Despite flashes of greatness, the team has struggled to make a real playoff push. So, the question becomes, is it time to break up the core and go in a different direction? Let's start with Zach LaVine. Now, I know this one might hurt some of you to hear, but when you really think about it, LaVine is arguably the most talented player on the roster. He can score from anywhere on the floor, especially when it comes to that deadly three-point shot. He's an athletic freak with the ability to take over games, and when he's clicking, he's one of the best players in the league. But here's the problem, as much as LaVine can score, we haven't seen him elevate the Bulls into true championship contention. LaVine has always been a talented individual player, but at times, his play hasn't translated into consistent team success. We've seen a lot of high-scoring games, but when it comes to the bigger picture, like winning against the best teams in the East or getting to the second round of the playoffs, LaVine's been missing that final gear to put the Bulls over the top. Now, I'm not saying LaVine isn't capable of being the centerpiece of a championship contender. He absolutely is, under the right circumstances. But could the Bulls use him as trade bait to acquire someone who could better complement the roster as a whole? That's where things get tricky. The Bulls might look at LaVine's value and realize they can bring in another player who's more balanced, better defensively, and maybe a better fit for the team's structure. The problem is that LaVine has a pretty hefty contract, and while he has tremendous value, finding the right trade partner could be challenging. Still, if they can land an all-around star or bolster the roster with a solid mix of players, the Bulls might feel like this is their best chance to create a more cohesive, complete team moving forward. Then, we have Lonzo Ball. The addition of Lonzo to the Bulls was supposed to be the perfect complement to LaVine and DeRozan. Ball brought playmaking, defense, and a much-needed floor spacer to this team. But ever since his arrival, injuries have derailed what could have been a transformative partnership. Lonzo was playing some of the best basketball of his career before his knee issues started. His vision and passing are elite, and his ability to guard multiple positions on defense fits so well with the Bulls' defensive needs. But that knee problem, oh man. It's been a nightmare. Lonzo's missed a significant amount of time, and the reality is that no one knows when or if he's going to be the same player again. And that, for a team like the Bulls, is a huge problem. Sure, when Lonzo's healthy, he provides a level of stability and defensive prowess that is sorely needed, but the Bulls can't afford to wait around for his knee to heal. The trade rumors surrounding him make sense in that context. If you're the front office, you've got to consider all your options. Can the team afford to wait for Lonzo to get back to his best, or should they explore trading him while there's still value there? The tricky part about Lonzo's trade value is that, when healthy, he's a great fit, but we don't know when he'll be healthy again. The uncertainty surrounding his knee makes this a really difficult decision for the front office. The Bulls could look to package him in a deal to bring in an upgrade at point guard or to address other areas of the roster where they might be weaker. If they're going to compete in the East, they might need to make a tough call here. And now we come to Nikola Vučević. When the Bulls traded for Vučević, they were hoping he'd be the perfect center to anchor the team's offense and provide some much-needed rebounding. Vučević is a skilled big man, and his ability to shoot from the perimeter really opened up the floor for LaVine and DeRozan. But as much as Vučević can contribute, his fit with the current roster hasn't been flawless. He's a solid player, but he's not a dominant force in the way the Bulls might need. There have been times when Vučević's defensive limitations have stood out, and his struggles to consistently protect the rim have been evident. Offensively, he's been inconsistent, and at times, it feels like he doesn't completely mesh with the offensive system the Bulls want to run. The Bulls need more than just a solid big man. They need someone who can be a true difference maker, and Vučević, despite his talent, hasn't been able to take the team to that next level. The Bulls are in a place where they have a good roster, but it's just not coming together as they hoped. They're stuck in this limbo where they're not bad enough to rebuild, but not good enough to compete at the top level in the East. That's where these trade rumors come in. If the Bulls decide to explore trades for their core players, they might just be making a necessary move to push the team forward. Perhaps they can move Vučević for a more mobile, defensive-minded big man, or maybe bring in a center who can provide better pick-and-roll play with LaVine and DeRozan. Whatever direction they go in, the fact that they're considering moves means they're thinking big picture, and they're willing to make hard decisions to get better. Exploring trades for these key players might feel like the end of an era, but it could actually be the beginning of something even bigger. The Bulls need to continue building toward a championship window, and if that means making tough decisions about the roster, so be it. With DeRozan entering the later stages of his career and LaVine and Ball both still in their primes, the Bulls have an opportunity to retool and set themselves up for future success. They just need to make sure they're making the right moves, and that requires taking a hard look at their roster and seeing where they can improve. Whether they end up trading LaVine, Lonzo, or Vučević, maybe even all three, it's clear that the Bulls are serious about competing in the near future. They're not sitting back, waiting for things to magically get better. They're proactive, and they're willing to make moves to make this team better. What happens next is anyone's guess, but one thing is for sure, the Chicago Bulls are ready to shake things up. So what do you think, Bulls Nation? Should the Bulls trade LaVine, Lonzo, and Vučević? Are these the right moves, or should the Bulls stick with their core and try to build around them? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get a conversation going. I want to hear from all of you Bulls fans, casual NBA fans, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and if you want to stay up to date on all the latest news and rumors surrounding the Bulls, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.